Were you expecting him to propose anytime soon? Are your family/loved ones happy for you to get married at this age? A lot of people are asking if now that we're engaged, we're gonna move in together. Everyone's asking when the wedding will be, and here's the thing. Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be doing an engagement Q&A because if you've been hiding under a rock, you haven't seen my last 3 videos. I am engaged and I haven't got my ring on. I'm wearing it on my necklace because it was too big and we went to go get it resized, and now all of the jewelers are closed because of the situation that's happening in the world right now. It's very much like a Kim people are dying situation in my mind, so I'm trying not to make it a big deal because it's not in comparison. So when the jewelers reopen, I will get it resized and I will actually wear it, but for now I like wearing it on my neck. A lot of people have asked why I don't just wear a ring on top of it to hold it down, if that makes any sense, and that's just because my job is actually pretty messy and my hands get really dirty, so I would prefer to keep this clean on my neck rather than getting it really dirty on my hands anyway. So even if it did fit, I might still wear it on my necklace because of my job. But anyway, I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions about my engagement or about anything to do with that sort of topic, about my fiance, about our engagement, about getting married, and I have a lot of questions to go through and answer for you guys. So let's have a look what you asked me. I feel like a lot of people usually film these with their fiancés, but Liam doesn't really love the camera yet, so maybe one day we'll film a sit down video, but for now vlogs is more than enough camera time for him, so we'll see, baby steps. The main question I got was, were you expecting him to propose anytime soon? And the answer is pretty much yes. So I feel like this may take the magic away from the idea of being proposed to or getting engaged and stuff, but I think in reality a lot more people are expecting it than you would probably think. I could be wrong, but based on a lot of my friends and stuff, they were all kind of expecting it. They knew it was somewhat coming. They'd talked about getting married, they were financially ready, all of those sort of things. So for us, the biggest thing holding us back from getting married was finances. We were kind of we don't want to get married until we're financially ready to get married, especially because we are so young. We're not as financially stable as a lot of older couples would be. So we've been dating for about 3.5 years, and about 2 years ago we sat down and we're we would like to get married in a few years time. So if we were to do that, how much would we need to save? What would we have to do? Kind of figured it out. So we talked to some friends who had gotten married, asked them how much they had budgeted for, how much they would recommend us to save before getting married, and we got a rough figure from that based on talking to a few people. And so we said, okay, let's aim to save this much money, and then if we have in about 2 years time, we can seriously consider actually getting married, if that makes any sense. So we started saving for that, and we were able to save for that actually pretty quickly. We saved for it in about half the time that we originally thought we would, so we were able to start saving for even more down the line things for a house and stuff, which we have started saving for. We're not gonna buy a house anytime soon. We're definitely not anywhere close to buying a house, but it was something that we started to save for after we saved for our wedding. So after we finished saving for our wedding, we were kind of okay, this is something we could do, and we kind of set a rough timeline of when we would want to get married. And so I said to Liam, okay, if we want to get married at that time, we need to get engaged probably in the first 6 months of 2020. And we kind of both were yep, awesome, let's kind of plan for that. So then probably at the end of 2019, in the last few months, I can't remember exactly when, we went ring shopping to get sized and to try on different styles. A lot of my friends who are engaged or married, I talked to them and they said, even if you think you know what you like, go and try on a bunch of different things and actually see what you like on you. Because you may not think it, but different rings suit different people, and you might try on a different style and fall in love with that more than the one that you originally thought. So I've never been super into rings. I've never been super into crazy jewelry or a lot of bling. So for me, I was kind of I like the idea of a solitaire ring, which is just one stone right in the middle, and I knew I wanted white gold. So we went into a jeweler and she sized my finger and she was okay, this is the size, and then we tried on a bunch of different rings and a bunch of different styles. And literally, I kid you not, every ring that I tried on that wasn't a solitaire, I was this is too much for me, this is too much. Even the ones that just had a few more stones on the side, or halo rings or anything else, I was this is too much, it's too blingy for me, I need something really, really simple. I'm a simple gal. So we tried on a bunch of different solitaire rings and stuff. She wrote it down on this little card and gave it to Liam, and then he went and got the ring in February, I'm pretty sure. So based on that, he was able to know what I wanted, but he was still able to choose the ring. So he chose this one, and I'm actually so so happy with what he chose. It's actually better than any of the ones that I tried on, at least in my mind, like what I think. I love it so much more than any of the ones I tried on. It's just like the perfect size and the band is the right width and it's just perfect. So he did really, really well. I did obviously help him out based on what I've just said, but he still chose it by himself. And then he proposed in March. So I knew it was gonna be in the next few months or so, but I didn't know exactly when. So I know that's a really long answer to the question, but I feel like that answers a lot of questions that I got. So in summary, I would just say, like, when we decided we wanted to get married in the somewhat near future, we really wanted to make sure our finances were right. That was like a big deal for us because at the time we were both in uni. He is still in uni now, I'm done, but like we couldn't save a lot of money because we're not earning a lot of money. So we wanted to make sure it would be like really financially easy for us. So we wanted to make sure that by the time we got engaged, we had already saved for the wedding. And then once we'd done that, we were able to try on rings and try out styles and stuff like that. So that was kind of like our timeline and kind of like our story. A lot of people also asked, was it a total surprise that he proposed on that day? Was I expecting it on that day? Was he acting weird? I would say on the day, I was like, this could be the day, but it might not be the day. And the reason why I was a little bit suspicious is because Liam is not the biggest planner when it comes to dates. Usually if we're gonna do like more of a bigger, kind of nicer date, it's usually me who plans it, unless it's like an anniversary or a birthday or something. So when he was like, oh, I want to take you here and here and here, I was like, oh, that's so nice that you've planned this like whole day for us. It could just be him being really, really nice and planning a whole day, or it could be the proposal. So I was like, could be, but I don't want to rely on that. I don't want to expect it because I've had friends who have like been waiting to get proposed to and they've like come back from dates or trips and stuff and been like disappointed, even though it was a really nice day, a really nice like trip away or something, and they've been like sad because they didn't get proposed to. So I was like, I don't want to be sad. So I'm just gonna like look cute just in case, but I'm not gonna rely on it. And then at the start of the day, we went to the cafe and he was acting super normal and it was like so fun. And then we went out for lunch and it was fun and it was so cute. And then as we started getting closer to the beach, and it was a long drive to the beach, as we started getting closer, he started acting a little bit weird. And I was like, I don't know if he's acting weird because he's nervous, because I was still semi-suspicious, but not like really suspicious, or is he just like acting weird because something else is going on? And I actually thought that it was something else going on because he was checking his phone heaps and he was like, I don't know, he was just acting kind of nervous and different. But I actually thought, okay, he's not gonna propose because he's acting too weird, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain it. And he's someone who never ever checks his phone. Like, he's never on social media, he's never on his phone. And so for him to be checking his phone, it was really weird. And it got to one point where I was like, what are you, like, why do you keep checking your phone? Because it was so out of character for him. And I wish I just hadn't said anything, but like, I was just like so confused. And he was like, oh, I'm just texting Matt, who is his brother. And I was like, oh, is he okay? Like, is anything going on? He's like, yeah, he just said this and this and this. And I was like, why is he on his phone so much if he only said like these things? But I thought it was one of those situations where it's like bro code, where it's like him and his brother talking about something that I wasn't supposed to know about because it was, I don't know, not in a suspicious way, but it would be like if Georgia was telling me about like maybe a guy she was seeing, or like maybe it was like a girly thing that she didn't want anyone else to know about. And if like I was on my phone talking to Georgia and then Liam was like, what are you talking about? I'd be like, just like stuff, you know, because I wouldn't want to let it slip. So I was like, maybe it's one of those situations. Anyway, when we got to the beach and we walked down onto the beach, Liam looked up into like the hills or like the sand dunes and he started laughing. And I was like, what the heck? So I looked up to the dunes, I couldn't see anything, and I was like, why is he laughing? This is getting like really weird. Like, he's acting suspicious, he's on his phone, he's acting really nervous. Now he's like laughing at like an empty sand dune. I'm so confused. And I was just at the point where I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is the weirdest date ever. And then he said, oh, do you see that over there? And I was like, what? No. And we started walking closer to where he was pointing to, and that's where the picnic was set up. And he was like, that's for us. And I was like, he's gonna propose. That's kind of when I knew. That's kind of when I was like, okay, it's like, it's a thing, it's happening. But pretty much as soon as we got to the picnic, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. And then he literally just like got down on one knee and proposed. So I didn't really have the time for it to really set in and for me to really know what was going on, because he proposed like pretty much straight away. And then after he proposed, he was like, by the way, like Taha is up there taking photos. If you guys don't know, Taha is his best friend. But it turned out he was the one who set up the picnic. He was the one who Liam was on his phone texting because it was such a windy day that he could only set up the picnic right before we got got there. So he was like texting Liam to make sure he would like set it up right at the right time and that he would know when we were coming onto the sand dunes so he could get into the place to take the photos. And that's why Liam was laughing at the sand dunes, because he was up in the sand dunes, like he saw him taking the photos, and then like as soon as Liam laughed, like Taha like ducked down and hid. So when I looked up, I didn't see anything because like he had ducked. So everything like fell into place after that and it all made sense. But like I would say I only really realized when I saw the picnic, because I was like, this is too good. Like Liam is not the kind of guy who just randomly sets up a picnic at the beach for no reason. So it was a very cute gesture. He did really, really well. But yeah, that's probably when I would say that I knew. But before that, I was a little bit suspicious because like he had planned this whole day and it was very, very nice. And he's usually a very like simple date kind of guy, you know, like let's get food and go for a walk, or like, you know, something like that. I feel like this is going to be a long Q&A, so please get a snack and continue watching. A lot of people are asking if now that we're engaged, we're gonna move in together, and no, we will be waiting until we get married. That is just what we think is the right thing to do for ourselves. I do not care what other people decide is the right thing for them and their relationship, but based on our faith and based on what we believe and based on like the boundaries that we have set, we will not be moving in together until we get married. But in saying that, pretty much as soon as we get married, we will be living together. So like by the time we get back from the honeymoon, hopefully the plan is that we'll have our own place already like ready to go. So when we come back from our honeymoon, we'll be living together from that point on. And going along with that, a lot of people have asked, what's Georgia gonna do when I move out? And a lot of people are asking if Georgia's gonna move in with us or if Liam is gonna move in with Georgia and I. And no, that is not the plan. I will move out and Liam and I will get our own place for when we get married. I'm not sure exactly when I will move out because we might get a place a bit earlier than when we actually get married, and either I might live in it for the last like month or so before we get married, or he will live in it and I might stay here for that last month. It really depends. I don't exactly know, but Georgia will stay here. That was always the plan. The thing is, a lot of our close friends and our family knew that the like wedding and knew that the engagement was going to be something in the near future. So that was not a shock to anyone that was like really close to us. So Georgia and I have been talking about this wedding and like getting married for probably like as long as Liam and I have been planning it. So when we moved into this house, Georgia kind of had more of a say in the house because we knew that she would be staying here after I left. So we chose a house in an area that was really good for her work. I still love the house. Like I still, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like she picked it and I just went along with it. Like it was both of us, but I let her kind of have the final say because she'd be staying here longer. And we also picked a house that was in a budget that she would be able to pay alone once I moved out if she decides to live alone, which I don't know what she will want to do. She may have someone else move in after I leave. She may not. She may live alone. But either way, she will be staying here and I will be getting a new house with Liam. And we've talked about it a little bit, but I might actually keep my office here potentially and come and work here because I don't know if Liam and I will have a space in our new house for us both to have an office. And if we have the space here already set up, I would rather give him an office space in a new place and me stay here so that one, I can see Georgia heaps and two, because it's already set up, we work together really, really well. So it would just make a lot more sense. I'd just keep a key for this house. It is one of those situations that we'll kind of have to figure out as we go, and it will make more sense as we get closer, but that's like what's in my head right now. A lot of people are asking, did you get your nails done because you knew you were gonna get proposed to? So no, actually. So in my what I spend in a week, I showed me getting my nails done. And I feel like a lot of people saw that and were like, oh, you must have known. But no, in January, I got my nails done because I was gonna be a bridesmaid for one of my best friend's weddings. And so I did do that, I got my nails done. And since then I was kind of like, well, I know I wanna get engaged in the next like 5 months. So I'm just gonna get my nails done until I get engaged. So I've actually had my nails done for the past like 3 months or so, like consistently got my nails done for the past like 3 months. I've just never told you guys about it because when I watched Michelle Reed's video when she got engaged, she talked about getting her nails done, and as soon as she talked about getting her nails done, all of her comments were like, are you getting your nails done because you know you're gonna get engaged soon? Are you getting engaged soon? Blah, 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 blah. And although I thought that I'd be getting engaged in the next like 6 months, I didn't want anyone else to think that. So I didn't say anything, and I only said it in that video because it was like part of the video, if that makes sense. Everyone's asking when the wedding will be. And here's the thing, because of the situation that the world is in right now, we don't really know. It is really hard to plan a wedding during this pandemic because we have no idea when the restrictions will be lifted. We have no idea when travel will be allowed again, and all of my family, except for my parents, are all interstate. Like all of them are interstate. All my aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents are interstate, and I really, really, really want them to come to my wedding. So until travel is allowed again, I don't think we'll be getting married. And so that makes it just really hard to plan. So right now, we do not have a wedding date or season or month planned because right now we're really just taking it day by day. So in regards to wedding planning, we're only planning things that don't have a timeline attached to them. So if wedding dress shops are still open, I might go and do some try-ons. I might try and find my bridesmaid dresses. I might try and design our invitations without putting dates on them as of right now. Little things like that, which I can start planning, I will plan. But in terms of actual like dates of things, I don't know. And same with engagement party. We do want to have an engagement party, but we can't really plan that right now because who knows when we'll be allowed to have more than like 5 people in a room. So it's a very complicated time, and we never expected this to be something that we would be dealing with during wedding planning, but it's okay. We'll make it work. We're gonna get married eventually either way, so we're not too stressed. Someone asked, did you get any negative responses concerning your age? Yes and no. It's one of those situations where I feel like if people think that, they probably won't tell me. On the internet, it's a little bit different. I feel like people probably will tell me, but in real life, I feel like people probably won't say it to my face. I know people in my life who think we're too young to be getting married, but I also like don't care. But also in saying that, it's pretty typical for Christians to get married fairly young. I have a lot of friends who are my age and who are already married, or a lot of friends who got married at around 21, 22. So in my world, this is actually pretty normal. And also since we've known each other for like 5-6 years and we've been dating for 3.5 years, it's not like we're getting married quick. Like it's not like we've known each other for 6 months and now we're already getting married. So yeah, we're kind of young, but we haven't rushed anything. At all, like at all. So for me personally, I don't really care if other people think we're too young. Like I really couldn't care less. And also it's like one of those situations where it's like, how does me getting married young impact anyone else but me and my husband, you know? Are you nervous about the adjustment when you move in together after getting married? I'm actually not. At this stage, I'm not. I've had a lot of people tell me that the first year of marriage is the hardest, and it can be a really hard adjustment, especially because we haven't lived together before. There'll be a lot of new things for us when we get married in comparison to, I know, like a lot of other couples who've already lived together, who've already done like all of those things together. It might not be as different. Things like sharing finances and supporting another person. It will just be a lot of newness, but I'm actually not nervous. I'm really excited and I'm really interested to see what it will be like. I wonder if there'll be a lot about Liam that I feel like I don't know yet, that I will find out. Like I wonder if there'll be a lot where I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that about you. Because right now I feel like I know him better than I know anyone. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. But yeah, I would just say I'm excited. I'm not nervous at all at this point. I don't know if that'll change because obviously right now we're not like getting married next week or something, but right now I'm just completely and utterly excited. What is something you're looking forward to when you live together? I think the thing that I'm looking forward to most is not having to say goodbye. And I know that might sound really silly because we're not like a long distance couple, but we live about half an hour away from each other. So every time we want to see each other, we have to really plan it. It's like, okay, I'll see you at this time to this time. And both of us are morning people, so we can't stay up late. Like both of us are so tired by 9 p.m. So after a day of work or after a day of uni, then having to drive half an hour to someone's house to pick them up and then drive half an hour home at like 9 p.m. at night is so hard and so frustrating. I wish he lived around the corner, but it's just not the case for us. So I think my favorite part will just be like when I come home from work, he'll just be there. Like he will be there. Or when he comes home from work, I will just be there and we can make dinner together and eat dinner together and get ready for bed and just like be together. Yes, we will still be working. Yes, we'll still have uni. Yes, we'll still have to be productive around each other, but we will just have so much more time to spend together because we won't be restricted to making sure we go home by this time or whatever it may be. And like when I wake up in the morning, he'll just be right next to me. I think that will just be like the best feeling in the world. I don't know yet because I haven't had that. I've mentioned this in previous Q&As and stuff, but we don't do sleepovers. We don't stay over at each other's houses. We don't do any of that because for us, that's just not what we want until we get married. So when when we get married, that will be like our first time just living together and like being together all the time, and I'm so excited. Like, I can't even describe how excited I am for that. How's Liam now that we know who he is? He loves it. I feel like he loves it like secretly. You guys have just like hyped him up so much. I feel like you guys have been like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute, he's so sweet, like blah 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 blah. Like, you've said nothing but positive things, and I think he secretly loves that. Like, I think he's like, oh, they like me. Are your family / loved ones happy for you to get married at this age? Yes, I would say everyone that's like close to us is super excited. All of our friends were so excited and so supportive. And as for our parents, they both knew it was like coming as well. As soon as we'd been dating for like a decent amount of time, I feel like they probably knew that we were gonna get married. And then we've talked about it with both of our parents. So they knew it was coming, and they're all so excited. I feel like I would be a little bit more cautious if they weren't excited. Like, if my parents were like, we don't think this is a good idea, I'd probably be like very taken aback and be like, okay, we need to reconsider. But since like all of our friends were excited, our pastors were really excited, our family was really excited, like there was no one really in our lives who were like, I don't think this is a good idea, I think you're too young, I don't think you're ready. Like, we didn't have anyone in our life like that. So I feel like that also helped us know that like this was the right decision for us. I might answer one more question and then I'll head off. Are you nervous to walk down the aisle? I am kind of nervous, but also really excited. I think I'm nervous because I think I'm gonna cry. And I really don't want to cry, but I think I'm going to. I'm such an emotional person and I'm such a crier. Like, I cry at everything. I cried when he proposed. So I feel like when we get married, like the actual wedding, I feel like I'm gonna cry so much, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to ruin my makeup. Especially like at the ceremony when we're gonna have photos taken afterwards. I don't want to ruin it. So I feel like that's what I'm most nervous about. Is that stupid? And also everyone like staring at you for like half an hour. Just like staring at you like that's a little bit awkward, but also like that's just what a wedding is. So I feel like that's probably what I'm most nervous about, like everyone just like staring at us and like looking at us, and also like crying. But apart from that, I'm not nervous about it. I'm really excited. I think the wedding will be so fun. I hope I'm not a bridezilla, guys. I don't think I will be, because I don't really care enough. Like, I'm not someone who wants a crazy extravagant wedding. Like, I want something kind of chill, low-key, fun, you know, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here because it has been so long, but I also just had so much fun chatting about these things with you and kind of answering the questions that I keep getting over and over again. So if I didn't answer your question, leave it as a comment down below and I'll try my best to get back to you. I probably will be vlogging the whole wedding planning process. There are some things which I won't vlog and there are some things which I will, but I'll keep you guys updated with everything, especially in my weekly vlogs and stuff anyway. But I'm gonna go before I keep rambling, and I'll see you guys in my next video very soon. Goodbye.